Just disclaimer, this is not a how-to video. This is just a day in the life of a blacksmith, former tree guy. Really, just a little off. Nope, there. Alright, so what I've done is, you can see this crotch split here, and excuse me, and we're just going to be pulling from this side. And so what we don't want it to do, if it's a weakened here, is as we start pulling, these two split apart, and this sucker go over there and crush my friend's shop. So, but I've already told him that I'm no longer insured to do this, so it's completely out of his own risk, so that's okay. So, anyway, so I've used this rigging line to hopefully shore up the strengthen that a little bit. And again, I've just finished it off with this timber hitch here. I'm just going to kind of pull it up here a little bit and put it in the top of the crotch so it doesn't get in the way. I'm doing the face cut and back cut. Alright, this is our anchor point for pulling, so this is the direction that we want the tree to fall away from the house and the shop. So this is an arborist block here, and this block's rated for 25,000 pounds. That's for what we're doing is pulling. If you're shock loading, so in a previous life I was a tree climber and did technical removal of trees, so a lot of times you're dropping larger sections of the tree and controlling it with ropes, and as it falls it will shock load the rope, and so all your gear, your ropes and everything, they give you a maximum like braking strength, but your shock loading strength is only 10% of that. So Yeah, so if your rope is rated for 10,000 pounds, you're only supposed to shock load 1,000 pounds. So, but anyway, so this here is a short length of rigging line I use to secure the arborist block to the anchor point. It has a spliced eye that I spliced in it, and you can undo this and put the eye through the onto this spindle here, and then close it back up. And then around the back side of the tree, this is called a timber hitch. I'll illustrate real quickly what you do. So you make several of these. You just tuck it over the rope. So you just tuck it over itself several times as you go around the tree. And so what that does is it's just all held by friction, and it's not going to come undone. The other benefit of this hitch is because there's going to be a tremendous amount of load on these ropes, and so you don't want something that you're not going to be able to untie. And this hitch is really easy to get untied. As soon as the load's off, all you do is you just unwrap it and it comes right undone. It's really quick. It's really quick to tie and really quick to get undone. So now we've got it anchored to my truck. So we're gonna go up there, take a look at that. So again, we're gonna want to attach it to the truck, but we don't want to just tie an overhand knot or something like that, because with the load that's gonna be under, it's gonna seize up, and good luck getting undone. You're gonna end up having to cut your rope. So this is a simple hitch. I want to say it's called a cat's paw, but I think that's something else, but I can't remember what its name. But basically just hold the rope in your palms, thumbs out, and you turn your knuckles in towards each other like this, and then you grab it. So you have, I'm not to retie it, won't further out here. But, so basically, there's your two loops, and then you feed this through. And I've used this with carabiners and a lot of other kind of stuff I'm rigging. But good thing about this again is once the load's off, all you do is you pry back on this. It's a little tough, but not too tough. And that loosens it, and then you can slip this out and it comes right undone. Then we're just gonna secure this to the hitch of my truck. Now we're ready to go start cutting on the tree. All right, so we're ready to start cutting the face cut of the tree. Just a word of advice. If you want to buy a lot of cool tools and equipment, the key thing to getting your wife to let you do that is to start a business and then justify buying some of that stuff for the business. But you actually got to make some money and pay for it, otherwise your wife won't let you do it again. So I've done that successfully twice now with the tree business and blacksmithing. So, but the downside is if you have all that cool gear and equipment and that knowledge, and then you keep it, and your friends find out about it, then they're always asking you to come help them, you know, take down trees like this, which would cost like $1,000 for a company to come do, but that's okay. We're good friends, right? All right. So.
I forgot to hit record.
Are you serious?
No.
All right, so I'm gonna start cutting the face cut over here. Show you something on the saw that probably most people don't know about. It can be very helpful. Just there it goes. All right, so this line on here, that's just not there because that's part of the molding. So this line is actually a sight for the saw. And you use that to help determine the direction of the fall of your tree, because the direction of the fall of your tree mostly all hinges on the hinge of the face cut and the back cut you do. So you want your saw, the blade of it, so this is called gunning the saw, and you look down this line to make sure it's in line with where you want it to go. Right now I'm a little bit off to the right, so I need to push the bar of my saw in some to bring it back to where I want it to go. All right, so I can see where I'm cutting my face cut. It widened just slightly. So that means there's not much weight already pulling the tree back. So before I do any more cutting, we're gonna put tension on the line with the truck to make sure it doesn't just completely break the trunk of the tree and go backwards on us, which would be really bad. I'll show you. Tight yet, or?
Yeah, it's tight.
Alright, so you saw me do a lot of trimming inside the face, and that's because I had a little undercut on my undercut of the bottom cup of the face cut. And you want to make sure you get rid of that, because as soon as that face starts to close as it's hinging, your hinge wood starts to break. And your hinge wood is what's controlling the direction of the fall, and if your hinge wood breaks prematurely, then you could lose the control of your tree and it could go sideways on you or whatever, which I've had happen, and it's not fun. So if it had been just a tree out in the woods, not close to anything, I may not have fussed over it so much, but since we got structures on both sides of us here, just gotta be a little extra careful on it. So I'm gonna start the back cut here, and we'll get this tree down. All right, so what we were fearing happened. It split at the crotch, as you can see here. So it didn't go ideally. Just disclaimer, this is not a how-to video. This is just a day in the life of a blacksmith, former tree guy. But because we tied it together with that rope, it held it just enough to where it pulled it, because if you can see in the video, the right side of it was going and the other side was staying, and then they completely separated, and it was starting to go with the right side, but then it hit this pine tree here, and I thought it was going to deflect it back toward the shop, but we missed the shop, so we didn't hit the house, didn't hit the shop, didn't kill anybody. That's a good day.